What if the person everyone called Deadweight turned out to be the most dangerous weapon in the world? This story will leave you speechless, so stay with me till the end. And if you love powerful, emotional stories that will change the way you see people, make sure to like this video and subscribe to Keenness Stories for more inspiring and shocking tales. They called her Deadweight. Every whisper in the barracks carried that word like venom. She heard it when she passed in the mess hall, when boots echoed in the corridors, when laughter erupted after drills. Alina pretended not to care, but the truth clawed at her insides. Every insult cut deeper because, in some ways they were right, she didn't fit here. Not in this world of iron muscles, sharp tongues, and louder-than-life confidence. She was quiet, fragile-looking, with eyes that seemed too soft for war. A lamb among wolves. The rain started before dawn that day. It painted the sky in shades of gray, and by the time drills began, the ground was a sea of mud. Rows of soldiers moved in perfect harmony, boots pounding in rhythm, rifles gleaming under the pale light. Alina lagged behind, breath ragged, her body screaming with exhaustion. Keep going, she told herself, teeth clenched, but every step felt heavier than the last. Deadweight. The sergeant's voice tore through the air like a whip. You're slowing the entire unit. Laughter exploded behind her. She bit her lip, tasting blood, but kept moving. Each insult dug into her like shrapnel, but she didn't stop. She couldn't. If she quit now, it would confirm what they believed. That she was nothing. When the drill ended, the others rushed to the barracks, stripping off their soaked gear, still laughing, still mocking. Alina stayed behind, kneeling in the mud, hands shaking as rain poured over her like a cold, merciless shower. She stared at her trembling fingers, wondering for the thousandth time why she was even here. Her father's voice echoed in her mind, deep and steady. Alina, you were born for something bigger. Something no one else can do. But that felt like a cruel joke now. She dragged her sleeve across her wet face, trying to wipe away tears no one could see in the rain. As the fabric slipped back, something caught her eye. For a moment, she thought it was a trick of the light. But then her heart stopped. There, etched into the skin of her wrist, faintly glowing under the gray sky, was a code. A string of letters and numbers that seemed to pulse like a heartbeat. KL13X9. Her breath hitched. She didn't understand, but someone else did. A sharp gasp cut through the rain. Alina looked up. 3 soldiers stood frozen at the edge of the field. The same ones who had mocked her minutes ago. Their faces were pale now, eyes wide with something she'd never seen before. Not scorn. Not amusement. Fear. One of them whispered, voice shaking, that's the kill code. The words slammed into her like a bullet. The kill code. She'd heard rumors, a secret program, an experiment buried so deep even whispers were dangerous. Soldiers engineered into living weapons. Machines wrapped in flesh. Killers without mercy. And now they thought she was one of them. The rain fell harder as the whispers spread like wildfire. By the time Alina reached the barracks, silence had replaced the laughter. Soldiers stood in rigid lines, their eyes flicking to her and then away as if looking too long might kill them. She could feel their fear pressing down on her like a physical weight. Every step she took echoed in that silence. Her soaked boots squeaked against the polished floor, each sound sharp as a gunshot in the tense air. The sergeant appeared at the end of the corridor, his face pale but his jaw locked tight. Alina, he barked, voice steady only by sheer force of will. Office now. Well, she followed him through the dimly lit hall, her mind spinning. The kill code, why did they say that? What did it mean? She wanted to ask, to scream for answers, but something told her the truth would be worse than the ignorance crushing her lungs right now. The office door slammed shut behind her. The sergeant didn't sit, he just stared at her, his fists clenched, his knuckles white. Finally he spoke. Roll up your sleeve. Her throat tightened. Why? Do it. Hands shaking. She pulled the fabric up. The glow had dimmed, but the code was still there, etched into her skin like a brand. The sergeant swore under his breath, then grabbed the phone on his desk. We have a level black, he said into the receiver, his voice low and urgent. Activate lockdown. I repeat, lockdown. Alina's heart stopped. Lockdown, for her. The room suddenly filled with soldiers in black tactical gear. Their rifles gleamed, trained on her as if she were a bomb about to go off. She stumbled back, hands raised. Wait. I don't know what's happening. One of the men barked. On your knees. Panic clawed at her throat. She wasn't a threat. She wasn't. But as the muzzles of those rifles stared her down like cold unblinking eyes, she realized something terrifying. They believed she was. The cold floor bit into her knees as steel cuffs clamped around her wrists. Alina's breath came in short, jagged gasps, fogging the air in front of her. She wasn't resisting. What would be the point? These men weren't afraid of a fight. They were afraid of her. Two soldiers grabbed her under the arms and hauled her down a narrow corridor. Every door they passed slammed shut. Alarms wailed in the distance. A chilling, mechanical scream that spoke of only one thing: containment. The base had gone into full quarantine. They shoved her into a windowless room lined with metal walls and bolted the door behind her. The cuffs cut into her skin as she sat there shivering, water dripping from her hair onto the sterile floor. Her reflection stared back at her from the steel panels, hollow-eyed, broken. Minutes crawled by like hours before the door hissed open. A man stepped in, flanked by two guards. His uniform wasn't standard issue. Dark gray, trimmed with black, a commander from Central Intelligence. His face was carved from stone, every line sharp, every glance lethal. "Do you know what you are?" he asked, his voice deep, almost calm. Alina shook her head, throat dry. I don't understand." He paced slowly, his boots echoing. "That mark on your wrist, it's not a tattoo, it's an imprint, a genetic signature. Do you know what that means?" She shook her head again, tears stinging her eyes. "It means," he said, stopping to glare at her, "you are not what you think you are. You are part of Project Genesis, the Kill Line initiative." The words meant nothing. Project Genesis, Kill Line. She stared at him blankly. The commander's lips curled in something between a sneer and pity. 20 years ago, during the Silent War, we developed a fail-safe. A line of human weapons. Stronger, faster, deadlier than any soldier alive. But the project was too dangerous. We shut it down, or so we thought. His gaze hardened. "Your father, Colonel Varek, was one of the architects. He smuggled out one subject before we could terminate the program." Alina's heart crashed against her ribs. "My father? No, he was a hero. He died. He died protecting you." The commander cut in, his voice sharp as a blade. "Because you are the subject, Alina. You are Kill Line Unit 13X9, the last living weapon." The room spun. Her stomach heaved. No, this was insane. She was just a girl. She hated violence. She could barely finish drills without collapsing. How could she be a weapon? "You're lying," she whispered, tears burning trails down her cheeks. The commander stepped closer, his shadow swallowing her whole. "If I'm lying, why does the code glow when your adrenaline spikes?" Alina froze. Her mind flashed back to the field, the rain, the rage. The way the letters burned against her skin when she wanted to scream. Her pulse thundered now, and as if answering his challenge, the code ignited. A searing glow like molten gold crawling across her wrist. The guards stiffened. The commander's eyes narrowed, satisfaction glinting in their depths. "Welcome to reality," he said. The walls shook with the force of the explosion. Sirens wailed like banshees as smoke choked the corridors. The base was under attack, not by men, but machines. Sleek, black drones poured through the shattered gates, their wings slicing through the storm, their guns spitting death. Soldiers scrambled, shouting orders, but one thing was clear: they were losing. Inside the containment room, Alina's heart pounded like a war drum. She heard the screams, the gunfire, the metallic shriek of the drones. Then the commander's voice cut through the chaos as the door burst open. His face, once carved in stone, was cracked with fear. "Alina," he said, breath ragged. "We can't hold them. If they breach the core, everyone dies. You're the only one who can stop them." She stared at him, chains biting into her wrists. "You said I was a weapon," she whispered, voice trembling. "Prove it." With a nod, he snapped the cuffs. They hit the floor with a clang that echoed like freedom and doom. Alina stepped into the storm of fire and blood. Her boots splashed through pools of rain and red as drones swooped low, their guns blazing. Bullets tore the air, but none touched her. Because something inside her had awakened. The glow on her wrist spread like wildfire, racing up her arm, crawling across her chest in a lattice of light. Her vision sharpened, her muscles sang with impossible strength. For the first time, she wasn't deadweight, she was destruction. With a cry that shook the heavens, she leapt. Her bare hands ripped through steel, tearing drones apart like paper. Sparks rained as metal skeletons crashed to the ground. Her body moved faster than thought, spinning, striking, obliterating. But every blow drained her. Every strike burned her veins like acid. When the last drone fell, silence swallowed the battlefield. Smoke curled from the wreckage, the rain hissed against molten metal. Alina stood in the center, chest heaving, the glow on her skin flickering like a dying star. Around her, soldiers stared, not with scorn, not with laughter, but with awe. She had saved them. And yet, as her knees buckled, she knew the cost. Blood dripped from her nose, her lips, staining the mud black. Her body felt hollow, every breath a razor tearing her lungs. The commander caught her before she hit the ground. "Stay with me," he said. Voice breaking, she smiled weakly, eyes shimmering like glass. I wasn't Deadweight after all." Darkness tugged at her edges, but she forced the words out, soft as a prayer. "Tell them my father was right." Her eyes closed. The storm raged on, but she was calm now, free.